Ever wondered how a seemingly successful corporation can turn into a house of cards overnight? We often hear stories of big businesses hitting rock bottom, but few of us understand the intricate web of deceit often spun behind the scenes. Corporate fraud, an unsettling term, involves the manipulation of company data, often leading to financial losses and a tarnished reputation. It's a complex issue, with impacts that ripple through economies and societies. Now imagine this happening to a billion-dollar dairy company, Parmalat. Parmalat, once a shining star of Italy's corporate world, plunged into darkness in 2003. This was no ordinary fall from grace. Parmalat was an Italian dairy and food corporation that, in its prime, was considered a titan in its industry. Its products graced the shelves of supermarkets across Italy and beyond, its name synonymous with quality. The company's rise to success was nothing short of spectacular. Starting as a humble family-owned business in the late 1960s, it quickly grew into a multinational corporation with operations in over 30 countries. Parmalat was the pride of Italy, an embodiment of the country's entrepreneurial spirit. But in 2003, the company's success story took a dark turn. On a chilly December morning, the company admitted a gaping hole in its accounts. A staggering 14 billion euros, roughly equivalent to 8% of Italy's national debt at the time, had been declared non-existent. The magnitude of the scandal was colossal, dwarfing previous corporate frauds. The revelation sent shockwaves through Italy and the global business community. At the heart of this scandal was Callisto Tanzi, Parmalat's charismatic CEO. A man who had built the company from the ground up, Tanzi was a respected figure in Italy's corporate landscape. But as the scandal unfolded, it became clear that Tanzi was more than just a successful businessman. He was the puppet master behind one of the biggest corporate frauds in history. As the scandal unraveled, it revealed a complex web of deceit involving fake transactions, phantom firms, and fraudulent accounting practices. The Parmalat scandal wasn't just about numbers on a balance sheet. It was a tale of ambition, greed, and deceit, a chilling reminder of the lengths some will go to maintain the illusion of success. But what led to this downfall? Who were the key players in this corporate drama? To answer these questions, we need to delve deeper into the intricate web of Parmalat's fraudulent empire. At the heart of the Parmalat scandal, we find a host of characters led by none other than its CEO, Callisto Tanzi, a man who, on the surface, appeared as a successful entrepreneur, but beneath the facade was the architect of one of the largest financial frauds in history. Callisto Tanzi, the son of a humble salami maker, transformed Parmalat into a global dairy empire. But his ambition was tainted by deceit. Tanzi, together with his chief financial officers, Fausto Tona and Luciano del Soldato, masterminded a complex web of financial trickery that hid billions in debt and inflated Parmalat's assets. Tanzi's motivations were as convoluted as the fraud itself. His desire to keep Parmalat afloat, to maintain the illusion of success, and perhaps a misguided sense of duty towards his employees, led him down a path of financial manipulation. He became a puppeteer, pulling the strings of a vast puppet show that was Parmalat's financial reports. The fraudulent techniques employed by Tanzi and his cohorts were sophisticated and cunning. They created fictitious transactions, forged documents, and used offshore shell companies to hide their deceit. They manipulated the numbers, turning red into black, turning debt into profit, creating a mirage of a thriving, successful corporation. Yet, their actions were not without consequences. When the scandal broke, it sent shockwaves through the global financial community. Parmalat's shares plummeted, and the company was plunged into bankruptcy. Thousands of employees lost their jobs, and investors lost billions. Furthermore, the scandal exposed the weaknesses in Italy's financial regulations and the complicity of some of the world's largest banks and auditors, who turned a blind eye to Parmalat's fraudulent activities. It was a wake-up call, a stark reminder of the need for transparency and accountability in business. Their actions not only led to the collapse of Parmalat, but had far-reaching implications for the world of business. Tanzi, Tona, and Del Soldato were not just the masterminds of a financial fraud. They were the architects of a financial disaster that changed the landscape of corporate governance forever. The Parmalat scandal was a wake-up call to the world, a lesson in corporate integrity or lack thereof. It was a cataclysmic event that sent shockwaves through not just the Italian business landscape, but the global corporate scene as well. It's a tale that still echoes its lessons today, serving as a potent reminder of the destructive consequences of unchecked power and corporate greed. First and foremost, the Parmalat saga underscored the importance of corporate transparency. When a company fabricates financial statements to the tune of billions of euros, it's clear that something is fundamentally wrong. The scandal reminded us that transparency isn't just a buzzword, it's a necessity. It's about being open, honest, and accountable. It's about making sure that stakeholders, from employees to investors, are not kept in the dark. Next, we come to the role of auditors. In the Parmalat fiasco, auditors were found to be complicit, turning a blind eye to the company's financial manipulations. This incident highlighted the crucial function that auditors play in maintaining trust in the financial system. It emphasized that auditors must remain objective, independent, and diligent, and that they should not hesitate to challenge the companies they audit. After all, their role is to safeguard the interests of shareholders and the public. The Parmalat scandal also led to significant regulatory changes. In Italy, the event spurred the government to tighten its corporate governance and auditing standards. Globally, it added momentum to the push for stronger checks and balances in corporate structures. But perhaps the most important lesson from Parmalat is the price of unchecked power. Callisto Tanzi, the CEO, was sentenced to 18 years in prison, a stark reminder that those who abuse their power will eventually face justice. It's a lesson in accountability, a message to those in positions of power that they too are subject to the rule of law. The Parmalat scandal remains a stark reminder of the destructive power of corporate greed, a lesson we must never forget. It's a tale that we must keep alive, a narrative that we must continue to learn from, for it is only through remembering our past that we can avoid repeating its mistakes.